Now at 4, we're tracking more storms moving into central Indiana, and that could mean more flooding.
A statewide emergency declaration from Governor Braun, what the state's already doing to help communities recover from flooding.
The worst flooding in Muncie in over 100 years. The White River cresting today and out of its banks, flooding homes and forcing many more evacuations.
Take a look. This is pretty much the story across parts of central Indiana. So much flooding. This is a look at Riley Park, submerged because Brandywine Creek spilled over its banks. There are flood warnings across several counties today. A couple of hours ago, the governor actually declared a state of emergency. So we're going to have more on that declaration, what it means for the people and the communities impacted. We'll have that live from Cambridge City coming up in just a moment. And another very busy afternoon. Great to have you with us. I'm Dustin Grove.
And I'm Anne-Marie Tiernan, in for Felicia, who's off on this Thursday. Thanks for watching 13 News at 4. Today is another storm impact alert day. And Rob joins us now. It's the last thing that communities across the area want to hear.
I know.
That more rain is headed our way, but in fact, that is your forecast.
Yeah, it is what we're expecting tonight, especially within the next couple of hours. We're watching some storms roll in, and then overnight, we think there's going to be some especially heavy rain, unfortunately. So let me show you right where we're looking right now with radar. We'll get right into it. We do have severe thunderstorm warnings for areas to the west, Fountain County, Vermilion County as well. These are the areas that we're tracking. Good bit of lightning as well. If there's any bit of good news with this, is that it's a bit of a small cluster of storms instead of a long line with a big shield of rain behind it. But you can see National Weather Service's office out of central Illinois has put up some flash flood warnings. The reason I'm pointing that out is because if this is slow moving enough as it approaches the metro, we could see that become the case. Now, there are some gusty winds within this, hence the severe thunderstorm warnings. It has weakened a bit over the last 30 minutes as it's been moving through the eastern part of Illinois. We will expect that to continue pushing to the east, so areas near Rockville and then eventually into Crawfordsville down to Greencastle. We'll have to watch this. It is going to put down a good bit of heavy rain. There is a severe thunderstorm watch that is in place. It does include the west side of Indy, Boone County, and points to the west until 8 p.m. for tonight. Keep in mind, there's also river flooding that's ongoing as we've been seeing the video. Flash flooding to the west. Will that extend to the east? And by the way, speaking of river flooding, we're going to add more rain on top of what has already fallen. There is a storm threat, a level 2 on a scale of 1 to 5 for tonight. That's because we're expecting more rain, even after this cluster, which, by the way, Future Track has much farther to the north. I still think it's going to stay much farther to the south than where it's positioned here, but should be out of here that first batch through about 8 o'clock. And then another round of storms expected to move through sometime after 11, maybe continuing during the overnight. We're going to talk a lot about river flooding. I'll show you which of the rivers are going to be cresting. That's coming up in just a bit.
Thanks, Rob. We'll check back. In the meantime, we want to get you up to date on some of the developments today about disaster relief. Right now, the entire state is under a statewide disaster emergency.
Governor Braun made that announcement earlier this afternoon from Cambridge City. That is where our Emily Longnecker joins us with what exactly this means for Hoosiers impacted by all this flooding. Emily, what did you learn?
Hey, Dustin and Anne-Marie. Well, you know, having that statewide emergency declaration is the quickest way to get the eyes of the federal government on the damage that these communities here are experiencing because of this flooding. Damage like what you see here at this park in Cambridge City. This is what happens with over 10 inches of rain in just 12 hours. This park is right near the west branch of the Whitewater River. Now, Governor Braun was in Cambridge City today. He toured the damage of this entire area and several counties around it from the air. Here in Cambridge City, he met with local officials from here and surrounding counties to learn what they needed. And the governor said Indiana will be giving all that information to FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, within the next week so that the federal government knows what kind of federal help Indiana needs to deal and recover with this flooding. We know, though, that this might not be over with rain expected tonight, and the governor addressed that. Take a listen.
Every state agency involved has been on alert since we watched it happening in real time. We've got the National Guard involved up in the northwest because of all the debris, trees down everywhere. Here, there'll be a Black Hawk helicopter stay on call because sadly the forecast says we could get 2 to 4 more inches down here. So be prepared, beware.
And the governor said that the state and all its resources are about as highly alerted as a state could be going into tonight. He said all of the state's resources are on the ground, ready to react. As he has been talking to people here today in Cambridge City, he says what he is hearing from homeowners and businesses are help us and do it quickly. He says the state is responding quickly. Evidence of that, he talked about that portion of I-70 West that was washed out because of the flooding near here. He says work is already being done to restore that part of the highway back as quickly as possible. He says that could be done by tonight, if not by tomorrow morning. So he says that is evidence that the state is responding quickly and trying to get people help. But again, going into tonight, we just don't know. But he says the state is on high alert and all resources are ready to help out. Ann, Dustin?
All right, Emily Longnecker reporting live for us tonight. Thank you.
All right, they've got to get the interstate back open.
Yes, they do.
And we're going to have more on that actually coming up at 5 o'clock. Meantime, from Cambridge City to Muncie now, where widespread flooding continues to wreak havoc today.
Rich Nye is now in day 2 in one of the areas hardest hit, with a look at how the conditions are at this hour on this Thursday afternoon. Rich.
Anne Marie and Dustin, of course, we had all that torrential rain for hours in Muncie on Wednesday. So on Thursday, all that water has to run off, right, to the rivers and streams and lakes. And this is the White River, which has taken over Manville Road here along the White River in Muncie. The White River is just beyond that tree line, but you can see how far it's come out of its banks. It's actually crested today and started to recede some. But you can see still cars almost completely submerged, houses with the water well up into the doorway, well up along the garage door along here on Manville Road. This area, one of the hardest hit as the river is out of its banks. Let's show you the view here from up above. This is looking from Drone Cam 13 down upon the White River and this neighborhood along the White River at Memorial Drive and Burlington. We're going to go about a block over now and check in on the family of Ashton Lewis, as she and her family were just on the edge of this river flooding. The water was threatening their house, but not in their house yet. And so they spent the afternoon and day trying to clear out everything they could as quickly as they could, just in case those waters came in.
We don't have water in our home, but we have it in our crawl space, we have it in our breezeway, our garage is flooded, our shed, our barn, they're all flooded.
So you're trying to empty your house just in case?
Yeah, I would rather lose just the house and not all of my personal belongings.
And I did want to give you an update on the situation from yesterday. We spent most of our day on Vine Street, and so this is what Vine Street looks like today. The water has receded slightly there, but still folks cannot get back into their homes. There's still about a foot of water in the street in some places, and so that situation is improving, but still flooding there on Vine Street, where we spent most of the day yesterday. Back here along the White River, again, the water is receding. It has crested and now going down. We're obviously concerned about more rain potentially in this area tonight, but we'll show you more of the folks who have been impacted by this right along the river coming up throughout 13 News this evening.
I feel for all those families.
Absolutely. I mean, you can just see how much water is there and how much damage is going to be done. Thank you, Rich. We have incredible images of flooding that are still coming to our newsroom today. The aftermath in some areas is just unbelievable. So case in point, look at your screen. This is video from Yorktown. Now, Yorktown is due west of Muncie, and one of our coworkers is friends with the families who lives in this house. That family's told our coworker they went to bed last night, everything was fine. But today, as you can see, a completely different story. Just look how high that water is from the nearby White River.
And it's a reminder of how quickly things can change, just in a matter of hours, minutes even in some cases. Now let's take you to Connorsville, also hit hard by the storms. This is the flooding there, part of the town cut off by the water. Power outages are also a big problem there. We sent our Ella Rhodes to Connorsville today. We're going to check in with her live in just a few minutes to check out the aftermath and the impact there in Connorsville.
Different story depending on where you are, and so we've been keeping you updated on the weather and the flooding all day from across the state on our WTHR streaming app. We also have shared more of the photos and the videos that you've been sharing with us on our website at WTHR.com.
Other news now, a Metro police officer is off the job accused of using automated license plate readers for personal reasons hundreds of times. And the chief has recommended he be fired. For now, he is suspended without pay. License plate readers are normally used during criminal investigations and to find missing people. Chief Tanya Terry told us she couldn't get into details because an administrative and criminal investigation is underway, but she said the searches appear to have been limited to a specific number of license plates.
Any breach of public trust is a significant concern for us, and we take it very seriously, and that's why I'm coming out and talking about this, right? I want our community to understand how seriously I take this as the chief of police and how every member of our agency takes that type of responsibility that we hold, right? The community's trust is delicate and fragile and something that we should protect at all costs.
She says the officer's supervisor reported it. The case will eventually go to the merit board to consider the chief's recommendation he be fired. Coming up at 5, Chief Terry will talk about the internal policies and safeguards the department has to ensure officers are using this technology the right way and the changes she says lawmakers should make statewide. That's coming up at 5.
Here in Connorsville, they saw historic flooding and rainfall. We'll tell you just how much in the mayor's message.
And we are also tracking more storms, unfortunately, moving in. These are west of Indy. How much will they impact Indianapolis and who is in line to see severe weather? I'll show you coming up.